a cloud-high outpost with floating aquifers over a woodland mansion next to a village above an ocean monument. And no, surely not. And a stronghold? This seed is the most absurd structure combination I have ever found. According to the rules of world generation, this should not happen. Not a single one of the structures that you see here should have passed their biome checks. And we're not even done with structures yet. There's one more sitting right under here, and guess what? It's buried treasure. And if you're thinking something's high, you'd be right. It's the prelim surface height. So you're probably wondering how on earth this actually managed to happen. Well, when Bedrock puts a structure into the world, it does a biome check, and it takes a midpoint and it goes a certain number of blocks above and below that midpoint. And for most structures, the midpoint is determined by the preliminary surface height. And what happens is when that is below the minimum world height, it outputs the highest possible number it can. The problem with that is adding any more to that number causes it to go negative. So for a woodland mansion that has a biome check that's 32 blocks wide, for a preliminary surface height of 64, it would go from Y32 to Y96. But in this case, because the preliminary surface height is so high, it rolls over into a negative number, meaning that there's no space in between the maximum and minimum to do the biome check. So the entire biome check gets skipped. So the net result is that you can get a lot of structures to generate in a lot of biomes they shouldn't. There's some limitations and restrictions, but that's due to the way the terrain shaper works. And just to show you what it looks like when the preliminary surface height is below the minimum height of the world, that lake goes all the way down to Y-54.